2015, we founded a brand new church in the heart of Benson. We came to Benson because it was experiencing a cultural renaissance with artists and young professionals flocking to the area. And it was perfectly situated in one of the most diverse areas in the city, tucked between Dundee and North Omaha. We also liked that Benson had the highest population of refugees in the city. And since we started, we've seen 75 people baptized. One of those girls is Michaela.
My friend brought me to this church for the first time, City Light Benson, One Hope. The sermon was about David in the desert. I couldn't help but compare the desert going on in my life at the moment, but the sermon brought me to tears and gave me hope. God showed up in my desert. One Hope Church showed up in my desert. So today I stand before you to get baptized. Now truly knowing, loving, and living for God. Humbly reborn, forgiven, loved, and accepted. So today, I'm going to tell it on the mountain, over the hills, and everywhere. I choose God today and every day, tomorrow and for eternity. So I'm getting baptized today because I want to continue following Jesus, and I want all of you to know.
We've gotten a front row seat, Jamison, over the last few years of hearing story after story like Michaela's. And not only are people getting baptized, but people who have been in the pew for years are experiencing a renewed love for Christ. Our partners, Wally and Janie, told our staff team recently, "We love it here at One Hope. We haven't felt the same level of excitement since we first accepted Christ 45 years ago."
Well, I would say that Janie and I have actually been part of large churches for the last 30 years. And we have grown there, but about 99% of the people are the same as we are. And we basically just fell in love with the church the minute we walked in. And we just couldn't believe it. The preaching, the diverse staff, the diverse congregation, the friendliness. And we were so excited just to be here in a group of people that we had always enjoyed being around and working that were different from us.
What we love is, in the last year, is that we have been revived spiritually. And, you know, we know what it's like to be on fire, kind of like when you come back from one of those mission trips and you're just, you know, listening to the Spirit and reaching out, and we wanted that again. And after this year here, that's the way that we are headed. And that wasn't, we didn't come here to get revived, but we have been spiritually revived over the last year, and it's been such a blessing.
But we feel very, very encouraged by Jamison and Tyler and Elvin. Just, you know, we trust them, you know, and we know that they're going to stretch us, you know, and not just let us set, you know, but are going to push us to achieve more things spiritually. And so we're excited about that, you know, and we want to be used.
Right, as people begun to love God more and more, they've also begun to grow in their love for our neighbors and our neighborhood, like Rose Hill Elementary across the street. We've been able to adopt every classroom and teacher over there. And in addition, we've been able to bless Benson High School on the other side of the street. Back in 2017, we started a partnership with a college prep program called Upward Bound to help low-income high school students be the very first in their family to go to college.
Hi, my name is Nia Lee. I'm with Nebraska Methodist Upward Bound Math and Science. We have a partnership here with Benson High School and this One Hope Church to run a program to help low-income first-generation students. And so beyond just providing us a space, the church has really helped our students, you know, live and adapt to America. I really love the new name One Hope because it really matched with the mission that we're trying to accomplish. One student I always like to talk about is when he was 9, you know, his parents had to immigrate, try to find a way to America, but they couldn't bring as many people, so they had to abandon him. But it wasn't until he joined our program that he actually finally have someone to kind of mentor him into, okay, what is his next step? How can he be successful? You know, does he need to go to college and stuff like that? He have told me without our program, he probably wouldn't have gone to college. He would probably, you know, finish high school and try to work and stuff like that. We helped him with getting financial aid and scholarship, and he was able to get enough scholarship, that he was able to go to UNO for completely free. And not only that, but he's getting paid to go to UNO right now. And so it make it so that he doesn't have to work while he's focusing on school. And now he's studying as an engineer at UNO, and this is coming from a background that, like I said, he probably would not be where he is without joining a program like us. And this is what almost all my senior that have graduated has told me, is that, without our program, they might not know where they're heading or what they're going to be doing after high school, or how they would, be able to sustain what they're doing right now in college. And that's why I feel blessed every day that, we're changing life. We're helping students really grasp onto their potential and not just let them fall, to the wayside.
It's incredible to hear these stories. But a few years ago, we realized that something was missing. Like City Light Benson had wonderful people, but we realized that we were not yet a diverse church like we had sought out to be. We felt stuck. And on a personal level, I wanted a diverse church for my 2 biracial sons to grow up in. But by God's grace, we connected in 2018, Jamison, and you had just planted a church, a beautiful multi-ethnic church called Forward Church. And we got our staff teams together, and we prayed, and we ate, and we thought to ourselves, man, could we do this together? Could we merge and become one church? And we did, to go further, faster. And it has been a wild, fantastic ride, hasn't it?
It has, yep.
Being part of a diverse church family for me reflects the world that we live in today. It's the reality. As you look at the world, the scope is changing. As a child, I did attend church where maybe I was represented, but not necessarily other members in my immediate family were represented. My stepfather's from Veracruz, Mexico, and my great-grandmother was 100% Choctaw. And so it's very important, because if we talk about real people leading real lives, serving a real God, then we have to have real servants in a real sanctuary that reflect the real world. At One Hope, it's very obvious that I am female. It's very obvious that I am African American. But that is not either the deterrent or the reason that people interact with me. They interact with me because they enjoy me as a person. They enjoy listening to, what's going on in my life, and I enjoy listening to what's going on in their lives. And people have been very careful to ask me questions when things are going on. I've never, ever, 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 ever in my life been to a church where the pastors led a discussion surrounding race, and it was so beautifully done. And I believe it helped to heal and reach out to a lot of people and garner and bridge understanding. When I tell you that One Hope is woke, honey, people better get into this. I just want to share how honored and excited I am when I think about our pastors and their level of humility. Pastor Ty's courage, and people come for him on Facebook, and he has such an eloquent way. Or, Pastor Jay, when he's getting up there and sweat pouring down him, and we're like, yeah, amen, and we're riding with him, and we're excited. And when I think about the members and how whenever something's needed, it's not a battle to find someone to do it. It's more of a battle of, no, let me do it. Well, no, I can do it. Well, no, I got it. Well, no, it's okay. I can do it. And that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I don't take it for granted that I'm allowed to be a part of this, that I'm allowed to do God's work and do it exactly the way that He created me. And that's enough.
Tyler, God has been writing an incredible story of diverse people growing in community together and loving Jesus more deeply. Over the past 6 years, He has been gracious to us and has worked through us as a church far more than we could have ever imagined or dreamed.
Amen.
But we believe that he wants to continue his work through us. That's why we believe the name One Hope reminds us continually of what we're called to continue to do, to share the one hope with anyone who will hear, to plant more diverse churches that will help us to reach more people with the hope of Christ, to continue to live on mission and to love our community through our partners right here in the community, and to continue to be a place where people who feel hopeless, discouraged, outcast, and lost can experience life through Christ.
Amen.
To do this, our leadership team has set some big goals for us this year, and we all need to stretch ourselves even past the point of our own comfort in order to meet them. With that, we are excited to launch what we are calling One Pursuit Movement. Over the next 2 years, we will participate together in a relational and financial investment. Relationally, we are calling this Your One. We're asking, who is one person that God has placed in your life that he wants you to reach out to and to pray for? Maybe it's a neighbor, a friend, a coworker, a family member, someone who you will want to be sitting right next to you in your seat to hear the gospel. We want you to think and to pray over the next few weeks, who might that be? Because still, the number one way of seeing transformation in people's lives is through the power of relationships.
Amen.
And we want to continue to foster a culture that's inviting, of hospitality and discipleship that leads to transformation. Secondly, we're inviting you to commit financially. We know in order to keep moving God's mission forward, it takes radical generosity.
Yes, it does. Yeah, Jamison, you might not know, when we planted 6 years ago, we just needed a space to gather as we launched this church. We got this building, which has worked, but it has cost us. We've had to haul buckets of water out of our sanctuary. We've had to go entire Sunday mornings without heat and cooling. We had to pay $15,000 in the first 18 months just on boiler repairs. Wow. We've gone entire Sundays without electricity in the kids' rooms. And we can't host classes in our teaching room right now because of a water leak.
Yep.
And that's why I love the vision you shared, so that we can take care of our facility and spend less money on the boilers and save more money for our church in South O. We can spend less time on building projects and more time investing in people.
Yep.
That's what gets me excited.
Yep. Here is what we are dreaming about. Our dream is going to be centered with an outward and inward focus. For our outward focus, we want to be continued funding for our very first diverse church plant, One Hope South Omaha, which is led by the incredible Pastor Elvin Torres. We will continue to partner with Abide that serves the community right here in North Omaha, whose heart is to raise up and to send out leaders from the neighborhood. And we will begin saving for our next church plant. We want to be ready to say yes to those opportunities as they present themselves. Our inward focus will be to renovate our bathrooms, to update our kids' classrooms so they can keep feeling safe and cared for, replacing our HVAC and electrical in our office and kids' classrooms, and renovating our kitchen so we can keep fostering community and to have a place to host people who may not ever come on a Sunday. As a leadership team, we have set a budget of $500,000 to accomplish all of this work. This is a big goal for us. But how many know that we serve a God that never calls us to something that he has not equipped us to accomplish? So here's what it looks like. As a church, we will come together on Sunday, April 10th, in order to commit to our relational and financial commitments. These commitments are a big step for each of us. With the continued focus for the lost and resources to build and minister here locally and globally, we believe we will see life change in many more people. Would you pray and ask God, what would he have you to commit to going above and beyond what you give now over the course of 2 years? The amount is not important. It's the faith and obedience to what God puts specifically on your heart. We know relational and financial commitments are big, but we love what God is doing right here in our church. And we know that God doesn't want something from us. He wants something for us. And when we take steps of faith it ignites transformation within our own lives. Can you imagine with us for a moment? Imagine a church that gets the opportunity to continue to share one hope with everybody, everywhere, every day. That's true impact worth committing to. And we're so thankful that together we're invited to live out one hope. So here we go. Our One Pursuit movement starts now.
Let's go.